The final award before we start our main course, the final award this evening is really sort of the most important award. It's called the Well Done Award. It's really gives recognition to someone who has been the most significant person pushing the Freedom Waters story and being a great partner. This evening, the Well Done Award is something that is incredibly important to the organization. The gentleman who it's named after he died early of brain cancer, and he was a gentleman that did so much for this organization. His wife has continued on being extremely philanthropic to the organization. So with that said, I'd ask Debbie if you'd come forward and present the award this year.
Thank you, Mike. You know what, can I ask you to be my handler?
Sure.
This will be great. Yep. Okay. Who's got bets on when I'm going to start crying? First of all, it's an honor and a pleasure, and I'm going to read because it does a whole lot better if I do that. It's an honor and a pleasure to be with all of you here tonight. Thank you, Mike and Meg, for chairing this incredible evening, and thank you all for being here. Now let me get to why I'm up here, and that is to present the Well Done Award to a very special man, about a very special man, Larry Dunn. But this tonight there's so much I can say about the man that I get to represent this very special award to tonight. He has and continues to inspire and mentor many. I can't even look at you. And it was his phone call that initiated the concept of Freedom Waters Foundation. And that man is John Weller. John, come on up here, please. While you're walking up here, I will tell you that John is a 30-plus year yacht broker and a 6-time cancer survivor. Just a side note. That's not even part of my speech. John changed... You good? Good. Okay, John changed my life and so many others with that phone call. It went like this. I had birthed many of these programs while working for another organization. They closed their doors in October of 2005. While I was unemployed, John and I met back in 1999. That's a whole nother story for another night. But while I was unemployed, John and I kept doing boat outings for kids with cancer and their families. Come next to me. Come over here. John would recruit the boats, and I would get the children for their local hospitals and social service agencies. This went on for some months. And then in January of 2006, he called me and said, "Did you decide what you're going to do yet?" And when you hear his voice, that's pretty good. And I said, no. He said, "Start your own foundation. You need your own foundation." And I thought for a moment, I have no idea how to do that. I only have $1,000 to my name, but as scary as it was, something felt right, and I said, okay, and you're the co-founder. And here we are 12 years later. John has been a mariner mentor and yacht broker for over 30 years. He's the founder of the Big Brothers Big Sisters fishing tournament in Fort Lauderdale, which is in its 39th year, right? 39th year. 39th year. The oldest fishing tournament for children in the state of Florida. Freedom Waters Foundation changes lives. John Weller is the reason Freedom Waters Foundation exists. He planted the seed. And we ran with it, and it continues to grow. He loves making things happen for others. He has been on most Freedom Waters Foundation Mariner trips, which is a boat we use in Palm Beach, which hosts 60 or more participants each trip. Whether children with life-threatening illnesses or veterans, John is there to share in the fun. John is dedicated to serving others. He contributes in so many ways to this organization. He's a board member. He's a donor, he's a fundraiser, he's a friend, and he's a very big heart of the Freedom Waters Foundation. He's family. I love you, John Weller, and so do many others. Cue video. Watch this.
Thank you, John. Thank you, John. Thank you, John.
I love you, John. Freedom Waters changed my life.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John. Thank you, John.
We love you, John.
And here's John Weller.
First, thank you all for coming tonight. We really appreciate it. I'm going to give you the real inside scoop on this. I'm working in my office at Bahia Mar in Fort Lauderdale, and this lady sticks her head in my office and says, I want to work on a yacht. Can you help me? Well, it turned out to be Debbie. And I got her a job as a second stewardess on a 130-foot Hatteras. And she got to be very proficient at cleaning toilets. And we call them heads in the business. And I wanted to say one of the key people is Andrew Siller in our business. Andrew, where are you?
He's over there, right there. Right under the screen.
Okay.
Wave again. There.
Andrew did more in this organization, I think, than anybody, and he deserves what he gets.
A whole lot of
The
headaches.
punishment. Well, I'll tell you how this all started. I'm a 6-time cancer survivor, and I go to MD Anderson in Houston. And I just tell you one thing. If you ever have a friend or family member, call me and I'll talk them into going to Houston. It's the only reason I'm standing here. It's the most unbelievable place on the planet. It's the #1 cancer hospital in the world. They got 22,000 people there doing just cancer. And I'm accepting phone calls from everybody. You can't believe how many phone calls I get every month, and it's worth everything. And so we use this boat. It's an antique boat. It's 122 feet, and we tried to get Sean Kennedy to come tonight, who's the captain and the owner of the boat. It's 122 feet, built in 1926, and twice a month we take out 65 people, whether they be families who have children with cancer or veterans. And we put smiles on everybody's face, and that's what it's all about. And Debbie's not cleaning toilets anymore. Thank you.
John, this is for you.
Oh, thank you.
It's not the plaque, it's this next thing.
Oh, great. Thank
See,
you
I didn't do
very
your
much.
plaque. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I'll throw it.
Enjoy your evening from both John and I and Andrew.